Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to play another round in the United Kingdom. Now we've already got a top score here of 25,000 points, which is great. So I figured to keep it interesting we might try experimenting with the new movement settings that GeoGuessr seems to have introduced in just the last few days or weeks maybe. So here there are 5 options: moving, panning and zooming allowed, so that's normal. No moving, no zooming, no move, no zoom, and no move, no pan, no zoom. So they've not quite got all the combinations there of reduced functionality that they could do, but they've got pretty much the main ones. I'm going to select no move, which I think means that we can't go along the street, but we can move around in a 360-degree view and also zoom in on things. So let's see how this goes. I think 3 minutes should suffice by the time that we find anything. In fact, you know what? I'll get rid of the time limit just to see if we do land in either a good-looking spot or one which has got a lot of information there which we need to digest. I'll keep the time limit off for now. Start the game. So let's first of all check it works. I shouldn't be able to click along the street. And in fact I cannot. So that's it. I can't move along the street at all. We've started here in a housing estate, and we've got one of the famous red Royal Mail vans here that you see across the UK. Lovely. Now I don't think there's much here to give away where we are, so this round could be quite difficult. Let's see what we can try and surmise. We're in maybe not a housing estate, but definitely you can see that the sort of houses are all built around the same time. They follow the same architecture, that's for sure. It's quite sunny. It looks very nice. We've got, it's definitely the summertime. Lovely, all the flowers are out. Quite a unimaginative architectural design, really, isn't it? Just a box really with a straight path to the front door. That's not to say it doesn't look nice, but it's just quite simple. That's all. We've got that's a dead end sign down there. That T with the red top. I don't think I can see. This will be a street sign here, but it's obscured by this plant. Or actually, no, it's not. It's below it. It says something close. CLOSE, but I can't read what that says. And that is all we have to work with. So look, the fact that it's sunny, means I will err to the south of the UK. Although of course, I mean, it's ridiculous really, because a lot of the north will does get sun. We're on the suburbs of a town. I feel this kind of residential area wouldn't exist in the middle of nowhere, but it's also clearly not an inner city. So it's just a case of guessing the right town. This is, after all, GeoGuessr, so we have to take a guess. So I figure Southampton. Why not? Southampton looks nice. So, perhaps we're going to be on the outskirts of Southampton. Why don't we see what West End looks like here? This could easily be West End. And these are exactly the kind of streets I'm talking about here, where it says Chartwell Green. And you see here the streets are all kind of higgledy-piggledy, and we've got these dead ends and so on. So, why don't we select something? We're looking southeast there, so we need a road that goes southeast to northwest. So maybe here we're on Windermere Road. Wouldn't that be just amazing if we were? Go for the guess. And we weren't. We were on the outside of a town, but the wrong town. Chelmsford is where we were, and to be more specific, we were by Great Baddow. All right, next round. You're really, I think, only going to nail this if you do get, a sign, or, you happen to land in the middle of a city where there's lots of famous places around that you could get. This is just altogether more beautiful than the last round. We're on a steep hill down, and look at the view it affords you out here. Just amazing, rolling countryside. This is what the UK's really all about. So I do see a sign there. We'll come to that in a second, of course, but just panning over the view, really. Not much in the distance to see. This is looking to the north. You don't get this kind of, this is quite steep rolling country, is this. For example, the road that we're on is itself quite steep. You don't typically get that in the south. Perhaps out in Devon you might, which is in the southwest. But you certainly don't get that in the southeast. So I feel like we're more in the north. So let's come to the sign, which is obviously the big ticket clue here. Now it says something walk. And I can't make that out. Edgehester? Chichester? Downing Walk? Chichester Station? I don't think it's Chichester Station. That doesn't fit with where we are. X, is it? You see, I can't read if it's an E or a C, for example. Chester something station? And something walk, but the walk begins with a D and the station begins with a C or something, but it's just too difficult to make out, I'm afraid. So that leaves us with a bit of a similar conundrum to that which we had before. Of course, we don't have to be in England. We could be in Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland. This to me feels like Northern England. Yes. And just looking at the buildings, there's not much to go with down there at all. Not much really of interest. But this one here, this stone, I'm looking at the colour of this stone, quite grey, but very light. I don't know what I associate that with. It's not the sort of sandstone of York or Bath, is it? It's Downing Walk. Maybe it's slightly easier to see this if you're not fully zoomed in, actually. Strangely enough. Edgehester. Well, look, let's not dwell on it. We can't spend forever looking at something that we don't get. So look, we could be in any one of these lovely sort of national parks. Typically, the more west you go across the UK, the more dramatic the scenery is. And I feel like here we're sort of middling the dramatic scenery, if that makes any sense. So, perhaps we're somewhere in the Yorkshire Dales. That would be lovely. Chapel-le-Dale, why not? I don't think we're going to be here. We also actually, what we do need is a station, don't we? So maybe we'll go for around Settle. Settle looks like the sort of town where yes, there's a station there. But we're clearly on a main country road that goes north-south. So why don't we select something like this? We were even further north. In fact, we were quite near Newcastle upon Tyne. And so maybe it was Concert that we saw, Concert Station, the sign too. We were looking north, and where were we? Don't walk in. Well, we didn't see that at all. This was the building that we saw next to each other, but unfortunately we didn't see the don't walk in, or at least I missed it. So that's hard to see, but yeah, certainly beautiful, and not surprised we're sort of in that neck of the woods at all. So there we go. Next round. Proving more difficult without moving around, that's for sure. I mean, really, it totally prevents you actually from getting to the answer if you're somewhere remote. This feels the same. So what we have here is an altogether flatter landscape. Looking in the distance here out towards, this is really the only view we get of the horizon. So that's southeast. It's pretty flat, isn't it? It's not quite so rolling as it was before. So I'm thinking more to the east of the UK. We've got here some quite high hedges, which is quite common, certainly in England. We're being tailed by a Mini. But ultimately, this is going to be another hard one to get anywhere near right. So we'll just have to go with a guess. I'm thinking as it's a bit more flat, it's not quite as open as, say, the Norfolk moors, which is this sort of region out here. This is very flat, but it's also the landscape isn't interrupted by the same sort of high hedges and trees that you see here. So I don't think we're quite there. Perhaps we're up somewhere near Lincoln. That would be good. So why don't we put ourselves out here? This is a complete guess, to be honest, like the rest of them. Nope, and we couldn't be more wrong. These no moving games are hard, aren't they? Okay, this is interesting. We're on a tram line. This is quite rare in the UK. We don't really do trams. We used to do trams back in the 70s and the 80s. Seaside towns like would have trams. Certainly some major cities as well, but not anymore. Famously, Edinburgh has a tram system these days, which is quite new. Implemented at great cost to the taxpayer, some would say. Anyway, this is clearly a major city centre. I just don't recognise it. There's a tall sort of concrete tower in the middle here that really kind of dwarfs everything else, to be honest. That looks like the main business district. This could be anywhere. These look like halls of residence that you get around universities. This is quite sort of typical architecture for universities. You know, it looks like a bit of a campus, and you can imagine some students living there. Maybe. Although maybe not, because they've got satellite dishes for television and students can't afford that. So let's try. It's quite interesting, the wrought iron railing here, isn't it, along the park. That's kind of unique, bit funky. I like that. That's good. Don't know what the word is, but it's sort of like Gaudi-esque, isn't it? It's like the Barcelona Cathedral. You know, similar. Obviously, it's nothing like the Barcelona Cathedral, but you know what I mean. That sort of funny swirls and shapes like that. So look, I'm dawdling. We need to figure out what city we're in and where this tram line is. Hey. It's quite a major city. I'm a bit ashamed that I don't recognise it. But city skylines are not really a thing in the UK. Not like, you know, in the States, for example, where you get sort of very famous skylines. You know, we might be in Glasgow. Maybe that's... Don't quite know how hilly it all is in Glasgow, but we're looking northwest, so that puts us sort of southeast. And there is these grey lines you see here are trains, not trams. So, you know, I just don't know. We could be outside anywhere. Could be outside Manchester. Could be outside Leeds. Could be outside Sheffield. Let's take a quick look at Sheffield. Where is Sheffield? I don't think there's other cities in Scotland that would look like that. I know what Edinburgh looks like. I know what Aberdeen looks like. I just don't quite know what Glasgow really looks like. But I don't think it's Glasgow. So I'm backing out of that one. This is Sheffield here. It's got a big city centre, as you can see. You know, there's no skyscrapers really to talk about there, but the town hall is a 3D building, but none others appear. And I don't think it's Leeds as well. Leeds is on a big hill, but the top of the city's on the top of the hill, as opposed to being at the bottom of this valley like it is here. So maybe we're in Manchester. And again, we're southwest somewhere, aren't we? Sort of more up on the hills looking in. I'm going to go with Manchester, but I'm not overly confident in this one. You know, perhaps we're in Reddish. I don't know. Looking down at something there. Let's go with that. But I'd be surprised if it is Manchester, really. Oh, and it was Sheffield. No way. We were looking in the right place. Look at that. If I'd have stuck with my guns a tiny bit earlier. Where were we? There we go. Park Grange Road in Sheffield. That fits the bill. All right, well, we were closer on that occasion, so feel good about that. And the final round. Oh my goodness, this is going to be another difficult one. When I say difficult, I mean it's easy to make a guess. Dead straight, pretty flat. Could be Northern Ireland. No signs, unfortunately. What is this AFS truck? That's all I can make out there, I'm afraid. AFS. some wind turbines, and you know, pretty sunny looking, pretty nice looking. In the distance there, we can see some rolling hills, so it's not totally flat. You know, I'm inclined to go with the southwest here at the moment. That's what I'm thinking. Again, another guess. So why don't we give it a shot and see what comes up with? Why don't we say we're down here on this road by Glastonbury? Oh, and we were in Northern Ireland. Well, look at that. Carving out metal. Not sure I'm worthy of that. A far more erratic map here. So what this really demonstrates is how, you know, the ability to move around along the streets really matters, because you can start to zoom in on places. At the moment, I'm guessing where I am in the UK based on my thoughts and really my assumptions around what parts of the UK look like, which, as you can see, are pretty terrible because I got most of them quite dramatically wrong. So we did pretty well around Sheffield and Manchester there, but the rest was you know, true guesswork. So look, I enjoyed that. I think as an experiment it was interesting to see some of the new features that GeoGuess is introducing, and I look forward to trying a few more of them in the days to come. So I hope you are too. Thank you very much for watching this video with me today, and I will see you in the next one.